our motivation is, can we use this tool to provide housing to folks in our neighborhood that is controlled by community, to leverage resources from the city, federal government, private foundation, and others to create a entity that has cooperatively owns and controls land and housing. The citywide CLT, we hope will, through our work and the work that we do in engaging our residents and community in it, will have some of the same philosophical lens of building community. That housing is really just not just an investment instrument and a way to build wealth, but a way to create stability and to build community with other people. There's a lot of arguments that people might say that why CLT, if there's issues with the CLT. Well, does it prevent intergenerational wealth building, particularly for people of color who've been locked out of the housing market? There's some common critiques of the CLT in that way. But what we would argue is that what we're trying to do is providing home ownership and the opportunity to build equity for those who would not otherwise be able to own a home or to buy a home, that would be stuck renting and their wealth being extracted by landlords and investors. Really, through a lot more deeper thinking and reading on the issue, there's a couple key pieces of study that have led me to a deeper understanding of the fundamental underlying root problem that the housing is really just a symptom and a component of, which is a racial caste system that kind of underpins the creation of the modern world and the modern economy, not just in the United States, but really globally. That was really started through colonialism. The same exploitative practices, first through sharecropping and then through private ownership of land, that to me, that it helped see that there's a through line from the foundations of the modern economy through the ownership of people to the ownership of land and capital, as really forcing people to, if you want to have a house, you have to pay rent or you have to pay your mortgage, and you have to make money by working often for corporations and individuals that enrich a small percentage of the population and really exploit the labor. And then the people who rent, like the people who own the properties, get the rents and basically extract wealth from those who are the poorest to then buy more property and further consolidate wealth. And often, and primarily through a racial lens. If you have a mortgage, then you live in subsidized housing. But that's not how we think about subsidized and government-supported housing, that all mortgages are insured by the federal government, and that's highly unique in the globe. There's no other country, except for the Netherlands, that does 30-year fixed-rate interest loans, which provides incredible tax benefits and wealth benefits to those who are allowed to buy, which from the start was based on race. The history of who can own land and control land is fundamental to the inequality that we see today. And that just perpetuates itself in the division between renters, and particularly renters of a particular class and race, and homeowners. So I think one of the arguments, potential, again, we're exploring whether the CLT can be a tool for our community to both leverage resources and to cooperate and connect with that history of cooperative economics for survival and thriving.